Tonight, before you fall asleep, have you ever found yourself thinking this? You open your banking app. The number is higher than it was last year. You've been putting money into savings, investing a little here and there, managing your spending better than you used to. And yet, why does this anxiety never go away? You're clearly making progress. The numbers are clearly growing. And still somewhere in your chest, things feel cold, hollow, like something is always missing. On the commute home, scrolling through a personal finance forum on your phone, you look up for a moment, and outside the window, the city lights are streaming past. How are all those people doing? Do the people in those buildings have more than you? Are you even on the right track? And at night, lying in bed, it's the same. Even with your eyes closed, the numbers keep circling. This month's savings, the loan balance, retirement funds. How much is actually enough? No one ever tells you where that line is. The more you save, the more you seem to need. Save 100, and suddenly 200 feels necessary. Save 200, and 500 becomes the new target. The finish line always moves just before you reach it. It slides a little further away. Looking around doesn't help either. A friend just bought a place. A coworker came back from a trip overseas. Open social media, and someone always seems to be living better. The feeling that you're the only one standing still. The anxiety that you're the only one falling behind. This isn't because you're lazy. It isn't because your willpower is weak. There is a real reason why this anxiety won't leave, even when you're doing everything right. Today, I want to look at the nature of this anxiety through the language of Scripture. Why doesn't money fill us up, even when it grows? What were we actually trying to fill? Let's find that together. The world has always told us the same thing. Save more, and the anxiety will go away. Achieve FIRE, financial independence, early retirement, and you'll be free. Have $1 million set aside, and you won't have to worry. But something doesn't add up. The person with $1 million says they need $2 million. The person with $2 million says they need more real estate. And many of the people who have all of it still can't sleep at night. This isn't something I made up. Research confirms it. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. Human beings feel a burst of happiness when they acquire something good. And then, almost immediately, they adapt. They return to the same baseline level of anxiety they had before. Maybe you're thinking, so what are you saying? Don't save money? Just give up on building financial security? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Money is necessary. We should save wisely. But the question I want us to sit with today is this: what am I actually trying to fill when I save money? The world's answer is always more. Save more. Cut more. Invest more. But Scripture points somewhere entirely different. The problem isn't the amount, it's the direction. Ecclesiastes 5:10 says, "Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income." Solomon wrote those words thousands of years ago, and they are still alive right here, in front of our bank accounts, today. Let's go to the text. Matthew 25, the parable of the talents. If you've only ever heard this story as invest your gifts wisely and God will bless you, I think today you're going to see it completely differently. A master is going on a long journey. Before he leaves, he entrusts his wealth to 3 servants. To one, he gives 5 talents. To another, 2 talents. To the last, 1 talent. The servant with 5 goes out immediately, puts the money to work, and gains 5 more. The servant with 2 does the same and doubles what he has. But the servant with 1 talent digs a hole. He buries his master's money in the ground. When the master returns, he settles accounts. To the ones who doubled what they received, he says, "Well done, good and faithful servant." But the servant who buried his talent says this, "Master, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid, and I went out and hid your talent in the ground." Did you hear that? He didn't waste the money. He didn't gamble it away. He didn't run off with it. He hid it because he was afraid. I believe this is the picture of most of us, most of the time. Holding on so tightly because we're afraid to lose. Piling up more because the anxiety won't leave. Burying the talent that wasn't laziness. It was a broken relationship. The servant who misread his master as harsh and demanding never even considered using what he had in partnership with him. He turned the talent into a shield, something to protect himself, not something to live with. And this is exactly why money never feels like enough. When we save from a place of fear, when the driving force is, "I need to protect myself because no one else will," no amount of savings resolves that fear. Because the money grew on a foundation of anxiety. And anxiety is never satisfied by accumulation. Matthew 6:19 through 21. Jesus says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. This isn't a command. It's an observation, a diagnosis. Jesus is saying that the location of your treasure reveals where your heart is anchored. So where is your heart right now? What is your anxiety actually pointing toward? Let me tell you about Solomon for a moment. We tend to remember him simply as the wise king. But the life the Bible records is far more complex and far more human than that. Solomon started differently. Shortly after becoming king, God appeared to him in a dream and said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." Solomon didn't ask for money. He said, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." God was pleased, and he gave Solomon not only wisdom, but wealth and honor as well. Because Solomon got the direction right at the start. But time passed. Power accumulated. Wealth piled up. His fame spread to the ends of the earth. Solomon built the temple. He built his palace. He constructed storage cities across the land. Israel entered the most prosperous era in its history. And then, at that very peak, something began to slip inside Solomon. He loved foreign women. He built places of worship for their gods, the thing he had asked for at the beginning, a discerning heart, wisdom to serve, the ability to know right from wrong. He had quietly begun to lose it. Ecclesiastes was written at the end of that long journey. Solomon catalogs everything he tried: knowledge, pleasure, great projects, houses, vineyards, gardens, singers, everything the world could offer. And his conclusion: "I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity, and grasping for the wind." Grasping for the wind. Think about that image. Wind is real. You can feel it. It genuinely exists. But the moment you try to close your fist around it, it's gone. Money is like that. It's real. You feel it. You need it. But the moment you try to fill the hollow place inside you with it, it slips right through your fingers. Solomon didn't realize this after he lost everything. He realized it at the very top, when he had everything the world could give. That's what makes this confession so heavy. I want to stop here for just a moment. Feel free to actually pause the video. Is there a scene from what we've looked at that's been sitting with you? Did you see yourself in the servant who buried his talent? Let's keep going. Here's something I want to name clearly. We tend to frame financial problems as financial problems. How much to earn, how much to save, where to invest. But Scripture always frames money problems as heart problems. Luke 12, the parable of the rich fool. A rich man's land produces an abundant harvest. He thinks to himself, I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones, and there I'll store my surplus grain. And I'll say to myself, you have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy. Eat, drink, and be merry. Was this man evil? No, he worked hard. He farmed well. His land produced abundantly. It looks like blessing, and yet Jesus calls him a fool. Why? That night, God says to him, you fool, this very night, your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? The man's foolishness wasn't in the accumulation itself. His foolishness was this. He never asked why. Why was this given to me? What am I supposed to do with it? He skipped straight from abundance to storage, without ever asking the question that mattered. I see so many of us in this scene. A raise comes through. The stock goes up. The property value climbs. And the first question we ask is, how can I grow this? How can I protect this? But Scripture proposes a different first question. What is this for? This isn't telling you to spend everything you have. It's a question of direction. Is the question pointed inward, toward yourself only? Or is it pointed through you, towards something and someone beyond yourself? When that direction shifts, something remarkable happens. The saving behavior looks the same from the outside, but the feeling inside changes. The anxiety begins to lose its weight, because you are no longer a person who must protect everything alone. You've become a person who is building something together. Here's a question I want to leave with you. You can pause the video if you'd like. Take 30 seconds. What am I afraid of? And how is that fear shaping the way I handle money? Be honest with yourself about that answer. Naming the fear is the first step toward changing its grip on you. Maybe you're thinking, are you saying that if I have faith, I don't need to worry about money? That sounds completely unrealistic. I know that question. I understand it. Faith doesn't fill your bank account. Prayer doesn't pay your rent. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is this. The act of saving can look identical from the outside, but whether it's driven by fear or by stewardship, by the question, what meaning can I make with what I've been given? The weight that money carries in your heart is completely different. The servant who doubled his 5 talents wasn't joyful because he received more. He was made whole when he entered into his master's joy. Come and share your master's happiness. That joy didn't come from a bank balance. It came from relationship, from trust, from using what he had been given. Let's go back to the parable one more time. The servant with 5 talents and the servant who buried his 1. What was the actual difference between them? Was it ability? No. Was it how much they started with? No. The difference was how they saw the master. The servant who doubled his talents trusted the master, so he could go out and use what he had without fear. Even if he lost some, it was okay, because he knew his master wasn't cruel. The servant who buried his talent was afraid of the master, so he had one thought and one thought only. I cannot lose this. I have to protect it. This is the exact same structure as our anxiety. The reason we hold on so tightly to money is rooted in a belief about the world. This place is fundamentally unsafe. No one is going to protect me. I have to protect myself. Money built on that belief, no matter how much accumulates, will never resolve the anxiety. Because the root of the anxiety isn't a shortage of money. It's a shortage of trust. Now you can see it. Why money never feels like enough. What our hearts were actually looking for, it was never the money itself. It was the assurance that this world won't abandon us. the meaning of building something with what we've been given, and someone to share the journey with. If today's message has landed somewhere in you, I'm not asking you to stop saving tomorrow. I'm not asking you to abandon your investment strategy. What I want to leave you with are 3 simple shifts, not in your financial behavior, but in your orientation. First, tonight, write a stewardship list, not an anxiety list. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself this: of everything I currently have, money, time, health, relationships, what am I burying in the ground out of fear? Talents you're not using because it feels too risky. Things you're hoarding instead of sharing. Whatever comes up, write it down. Just naming it is the beginning of something. Second, check the direction of your saving. Ask yourself honestly, am I saving from fear or from purpose? If fear is the motivation, no amount saved will ever be enough. The fear doesn't have a finish line. But if purpose is the motivation, saving to care for your family, to help someone, to do what you're called to do, that money will make you more free, not more anxious. Third, today, practice using something. It doesn't have to be big. Buy someone a coffee. Send the thank you message you've been putting off. Give a little more than you planned to at church this week. The first movement of digging the talent back up always starts with something small. Why money never feels like enough. Now you understand. What we were trying to fill was never the account balance. It was meaning. It was trust. It was relationship. One last thing. Shifting from fear-based saving to purpose-based living doesn't happen overnight. There will be days when the anxiety comes back. Days when you open the app and the old feeling returns. Days when you look around and feel behind again. That's okay. Scripture doesn't demand perfection. It asks for faithfulness. One small step at a time. And here's what I want you to hold on to: God is not the harsh master in the story. He is not waiting to punish you for losing something. He is waiting for you to take what you've been given and step back out into the world with it. Don't bury your talent. The invitation isn't to protect everything perfectly. The invitation is to participate in something larger than your own financial security, with a master who can be trusted. Today's message was never really about money. It was about where your heart is anchored. Share your answer in the comments. What are you afraid of? And how has that shaped the way you handle money? When you put that into words, the fear begins to lose its grip. Your time is coming.